Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 8 Update. I'm Dane Carter.
And I'm Hope Winter.
Starting off our local news tonight, Fredonia School of Music graduate Danielle Beckfermit was named a finalist in the Metropolitan Opera National Council Grand Finals. Beckfermit, a soprano, is the second consecutive Fredonia alumnus who has reached the Grand Finals in this competition. Last year's winner of the Grand Finals was alumnus Kyle van Schoonhoven. Beckfermit will perform in the finalist competition at the Lincoln Center. The Grand Finals will also feature accompaniment by the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra.
Well, winter finally seems to be behind us. This past weekend saw some of the warmest temperatures this year. But as we all know, with the winter weather conditions comes usually terrible road conditions as well. The Public Works Director for the City of Dunkirk, Randy Woodbury, has confirmed that the city will receive its regular funding by Consolidated Local Street and Highway Improvement Program from the state. According to the Dunkirk Observer, this amounts about to be $350,000, However, because of this past winter was especially harsh, Dunkirk will also receive $70,000 from the Pave New York program, $50,000 from the Extreme Winter Recovery Funds, and an undetermined amount from the Hard Winter Recovery Program.
Hope, thank you. Tonight, producer Patrick Ryan takes us to this past Saturday's Relay for Life.
Fredonia's chapter of Colleges Against Cancer organized their annual Relay for Life event this past Saturday. Students spent 12 hours walking to raise money for the American Cancer Society.
Being aware of how much you can make a difference, because you have caretakers come in, you have survivors come in, and you just have different people share their stories. Like Lindsay today during the Luminaria ceremony shared her story, and it really moved a lot of people, and you kind of realize I can actually make a difference.
Campus organizations like STEPS participated to raise money.
Especially to be at something as important as Relay for Life, it's just, you can't miss it.
And so what has been one of the standout moments here for you?
Watching everyone dance. And also the Luminara, the ceremony was absolutely beautiful. And I got all choked up because it was just all these people have been affected. Every time you heard that glow stick snap, that's a sad person.
The snapping of a glow stick represents a loved one who's been living with cancer or has lost their battle.
I really liked the Luminaria ceremony it was all dark and we all had glow sticks, because it just showed that everyone here is connected to cancer in some way. It's affected all of our lives, and it was just a very beautiful moment.
Campus organizations sponsored games and snacks for participants to pass the time. The Relay for Life has been able to raise over $13,000. Donations are still being accepted through August 31st.
For 12 hours, participants in Relay for Life have been walking to celebrate and remember those affected by cancer. All proceeds will benefit the American Cancer Society in their fight back. In Steele Hall, I'm Patrick Ryan, Channel 8 Update, Fredonia.
Dax joins us now for your Channel 8 weather update. Dax, good evening.
Good evening and welcome to your Channel 8 weather update. Today and tonight will be rather drizzly and followed by a few days in the 50s and 40s. Temperatures will remain generally higher from this point forward, it seems, so don't be too afraid to put away that heavy winter coat. Saturday and Sunday will be a bit on the chilly side, but after that we're looking at mostly open window temperatures and comfortable walks to class, until the summer temperatures hit at least. Winds will be mild, humidity will be high, and hopefully cabin fever will be going down as we get more and more proper spring weather.
Dax, thanks. Stay tuned for your national news after this short break.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today, I'm just an aluminum can, but one day, I could be a stadium.
And I can't change, even if I try. Even if I wanted to, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Welcome back. Starting off your national news tonight, we have Evelyn Washington, a woman from Louisiana who is facing burglary charges after allegedly breaking into a Monroe home. The homeowner told police that she found Washington naked in her bathtub eating Cheetos around 5 p.m. on Tuesday last week. According to WGRZ, quote, Washington told the victim an unknown man told her to break in, end quote. Police officers found that the broken window with a tall ice chest under the windowsill on the east side of the home, and the bathtub was found full of water with a plate of food on the toilet seat next to the tub. Washington has been charged with a simple burglary as known as simple criminal damage to property.
Marijuana can now be legally delivered to homes in Oregon. According to U.S. News, Oregon legislation allows retailers to deliver marijuana directly to customers who are 21 years of age and older. Oregon State was the first to provide such a service as of February 2017. Nevada and California later followed in Oregon's footsteps. U.S. News says that making marijuana more accessible for those who use it for medical purposes makes marijuana sales more competitive and could, quote, lower the number of drugged drivers, end quote. However, U.S. News points out the concerns that legalizing marijuana deliveries in some places, such as Oregon, could lead to illegal sales elsewhere, sales which have already taken place.
Finishing off your national news tonight is a tragedy that struck the past Monday at a Waffle House in Nashville, Tennessee, when 29-year-old Travis Ranking committed a deadly shooting with an AR-15 rifle. 4 people were killed and several others were injured in the attack, and Ranking fled the scene. After a 34-hour manhunt, the shooter was apprehended a mile away from the scene of the crime. He still had to be armed with a loaded handgun, but surrendered peacefully and was jailed for 4 charges of homicide. His bail has been set for $2 million, $500,000 for each victim that was killed. Kevin Syracuse joins us now for your Channel 8 Sports Update. Kevin, good evening.
Good evening and welcome to your Channel 8 Sports Update. The Fredonia women's lacrosse team won their first game of the season on Saturday in New Paltz as they defeated the Hawks 16-15 in overtime. Sophomore attack Madeline Haney recorded the game-winning goal with 4 seconds left in the first overtime. Freshman attack Casey Villagomez scored 7 goals and 1 assist. Haney and freshman defender Allie Kuhn each scored 3 goals. Freshman midfielder Alexis Scauron scored twice, and freshman attack Ariana Smith scored once. In addition, senior goalkeeper Nicole Burrows made 28 saves, breaking the previous single-game team record of 20. The girls then lost 22-7 yesterday to the nationally ranked Geneseo Knights. Villagomez led the offense yet again as she scored 3 goals. Kuhn scored twice, Scauron and Haney each scored once, and Burrows made 15 saves. The Blue Devils are now 1-13 overall and 1-6 in the SUNYAC as they travel to Deauville tomorrow before finishing their season Saturday afternoon at home versus Oneonta. And finally, Oakland Athletics starting pitcher Sean Manaea threw a no-hitter versus the Boston Red Sox Saturday night in Oakland. Manaea threw 108 pitches over the 9 hitless innings while walking 2 batters and striking out 10. It is Oakland's first no-hitter since Dallas Braden threw a perfect game in 2010 and the 297th no-hitter thrown in MLB history. And we'll return with your international news after this short break.
You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside.
The box. Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Welcome back. CBS News released a report yesterday on China's proposed social credit system. After having been in the making for a few years, the plan is slowly being implemented to give all 1.4 billion Chinese a social credit rating by 2020. The program uses high-tech camera and computer systems to monitor the day-to-day activities of citizens and give them a score based on their behavior. Actions that might hurt someone's score include jaywalking, smoking on trains, or overusing video games. Those with low scores will be punished in some way, some having already been banned from renting homes or getting loans. And 15 million have been banned from buying flight tickets, according to CBS News. Some people find this program a good thing, claiming it will make people more honest and loyal, but others take that same argument and look at the other side, concerned that such a system will be used to force loyalty to the Communist Party. On social media, many people quickly drew a strikingly similar connection between China's program and the 8th episode of the science fiction anthology show Black Mirror, titled Nosedive. It's hard to deny that this episode, released a year and a half ago, contains a strikingly similar plot line to China's program. At least it seems that way in these early stages of China's system, causing concerns in many. Which features in response to the report by CBS. TV personality Seth MacFarlane tweeted, quote, "Dystopia is alive and well."
Now, according to CNN, a man in a white van plowed through pedestrians for nearly a mile and a half early Monday morning in northern Toronto, Canada. During the suspected intentional attack, 10 people were killed and 15 were injured. The suspect of this incident was arrested in his white rental van shortly after. Eyewitness accounts state that at times they saw the vehicle driving on sidewalks and switching between northern and southern lanes. One eyewitness claimed that the driver seemed to be hitting people intentionally. This tragedy is very reminiscent of the attacks that happened last year involving vehicles, including the Manhattan attack last November, along with the attack in Barcelona last August. ABC News reports that at this moment, this incident was suspected as an attack, not suspected as a threat to national security. The actual motivations of the driver are still unknown.
And finally, after a national social security overhaul sparked several days of violent demonstrations in Nicaragua, thousands of Nicaraguans marched to the country's capital to protest government oppression. Clashes between police forces and protesters have resulted in the deaths of almost 30 people. These casualties prompted President Daniel Ortega to withdraw the changes on Sunday. The withdrawn changes would have forced higher taxes onto workers and employees, while also forcing retirees to give up 5% of their pension checks to medical care. University students, bolstered by members of the private business sector, led most of the street protests. Jose Adan Aguirre, president of the Superior Council of Private Business, stated, quote, "We recognize and value that the civil and peaceful struggle led by our youth has been key in the government's repeal of the executive decree that set off this social crisis," end quote. We'll be back after a short break.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the creative galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Welcome back. The last couple of days have been welcomingly received by Fredonia in terms of weather. Monday was the first really warm, sunny day of the year, and students could be seen sitting out on the grass and in hammocks across the campus. Although we will be seeing higher temperatures in general, there are still a few more days of cold weather to come, and unfortunately, a lot more rain. However, next Tuesday and Wednesday, we could see temperatures all the way into the 70s. I hope we can all be patient through these rainy days while they wash away our winter blues. And now, here's your 7-day forecast behind me. So this Wednesday, we have a high of 50, and it's a little higher than I was expecting. But anyway, we have our couple of cold days all the way into Sunday, but then the beautiful weather begins Monday and especially Tuesday. Thank you.
That is going to do it for us here tonight on Channel 8 Update. Thank you for tuning in, and also don't forget to check out Fred Before Bed tonight at 10 p.m. So yes, on behalf of the entire Channel 8 Update crew, have a good night.